Hello YouTube and Pitboss friends, pellet grillers all around. Today on this old 700 Classic, I'm going to do some New York strip steaks that I marinated. They're going to be topped with some chimichurri sauce. It was introduced to me the other day. I've heard of it before, never had it, and let me tell you something, it was absolutely amazing. I mean, if there was ever a one bite to turn me on to something, it was that one bite he brought in. So we're going to do it today. Hope everything works out. Stay with it. First thing I'm going to do is get my grill up to 400 degrees. I'm going to place my Lodge cast iron griddle in. This is going to protect the meat. Sirloin doesn't have a lot of fat, so you've got to cook sirloin with its juice. You do flip this one often. I would say flip it every minute and try to keep the juices locked within the middle. You don't want them to bleed out or run out by leaving them on one side. Typically when I do a steak, I'll do it low and I'll do the reverse sear, and everything stays in it quite well, and then you just char it right at the end for a minute or whatever over a real high fire. This is going to be totally different. I'm just going to have my grill plate really hot, hopefully 400 degrees, and I'm going to spray a little canola on the top of it so it'll release the meat. But my goal is to lock those juices right up in the middle. It's going to have about a 5-minute rest, then I'll slice them and serve them with the chimichurri sauce over top. If you haven't had this before or made it, look it up on YouTube or something, the chimichurri sauce, give it a try. It was real easy to make, and it tastes phenomenal. Okay, while the grill's coming up to temperature, these are my marinating New York strips, olive oil, lime juice, some of the chimichurri, which I made. You blend in a food processor. It's a combination of garlic, cayenne pepper, black pepper, salt, cilantro, and parsley and olive oil, and you puree that into a nice thick salsa, real thick, and when the steaks are done, you'll slice the steaks and you'll serve that in like a light drizzle over the top, and it's amazing. So right now, while the grill's heating up, I'm letting my steaks come back down in temperature so they'll cook up much better. They won't be cold in the center, if you will, making it harder to keep up with the temperatures. Here are my beautifully marinated sirloin strips, getting ready for the grill. Just before they go out, I'm going to hit them once on one side only with some mildly coarse Himalayan pink salt on top and some black pepper, and that's going to be the upside when I start the process, and then when I flip them over the first time, all them flavors will have drawn into the meat and hopefully start doing their thing. But the whole idea with a lean piece of meat is you need to flip it. If you don't flip it, you're going to let it drain out right on your grill, and you're going to wonder why it was tough and hard. You do about a minute, flip it, and you just do it until you find the temperature you're going for. And for me here at home, we're going to go for a medium or just above medium rare. Nobody in my family will eat anything that's running out any red juices, so we definitely just go a little bit beyond pink, or at the palest tone of pink. Okay, my grill has now reached 400 degrees. It's been sitting here for about 10 or so minutes around the 400 mark, so I know that my cast iron griddle inside has probably matched the temperature as well. It's been in there ever since we started up. I just want to make a note that the steaks I'm dropping on, these sirloins, you want to flip them often, as I've said earlier. However, as a rule, every time you do meat or whatever, you don't try to flip it until it releases from the grill, because that kind of shows that it hasn't really seared in yet. Well, if you wait for that with a  chances are you're going to run the juices out. So I like to spray my rack with some canola to help allow them to release probably a little earlier than you would typically go to flip your meat. You have to flip it about every minute. So let's get them on there. Pick these beautiful steaks up. Now I want to get everything in hand because I'm kind of a stickler for leaving the lid open. I mean, all that acquired temperature doesn't hang around long, so I'm going to try to manage a phone and manage my tongs and get these things on the griddle. Here we go. Oh yeah, the griddle's looking good. It's shiny. I can tell that oil is on there. That sizzle is exactly what you want to hear. If they don't sizzle, you probably aren't hot enough. Let's get that lid closed. Okay, the first minute's gone by. Let's take a peek and just see real quick how accurate we are on picking our flip times. Let's take a look underneath one of them. Alright, no stick. Let's get it turned over. Now always flip your meat away from you. Whether you're inside, outside, it's just a normal rule of thumb. That way you don't flip any juices back on you, your floor, your child. So let's let them ride. Alright, another minute's passed. Let's get these flipped again. Wow, look at, you can see what fat is in them. Has really pulled them in. So you got to stay with them. Remember, these were marinated steaks. These ain't dropped straight from a package with some seasoning, so they're gonna be resilient to taking on black or brown or, you know, any deep charring. So we're just going for internal temperature. Somewhere in the neighborhood of 140 to 150, trying to stay right in that medium area. Okay, they're pulled off and they're right at 150, just a little over 150. I'm gonna go ahead and cover them up, and this is the resting point. All right, here we go. We're gonna cut into it and see how it looks. To our family, this is just beyond perfect. You can still see the pink hue, no blood, but still very juicy. And the final product, served with a chimichurri sauce and a side of macaroni salad. Enjoy.